Hey guys, Phil here coming to you from Japan. A little more chat about the coronavirus here, because I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. You know, the big news, of course, I mean, I said it yesterday, everything was normal, life was fine. Big news, of course, is that now they've decided to postpone the Olympics. That whole thing's weird. I haven't read all the accounts, but wasn't it just like 2 days ago they said they were going to take 4 weeks to figure out if it was going to be canceled or postponed? I don't understand how 4 weeks went to like 12 hours, but I think Abe got on the phone with them and said, if it's not too much trouble, I mean, if you don't mind, could you postpone it? Though it's a huge economic disaster here in Japan because they've spent tons of money. The timeline of all of this is quite bizarre because it's not that long ago that Mr. Abe went on TV here, which is kind of unusual, addressed the nation and said, look, you know, those Olympics, they're going ahead as planned. I mean, it was a Saturday night, so it was either 10 days ago, whenever it was, and those are going ahead as planned. And then a couple of days after that, it was like, definitely the Olympics are going ahead, and they leave out the kind of as planned part. And now it's like we're delayed. So, and they don't say when they're delayed to. Maybe they're delayed to 2021. They're going to have to steal another logo from somewhere. So that's going to be a problem. And number of cases are up, but only by 67. So it doesn't seem like we have a huge issue here. This thing that I talked about yesterday of, cluster measures seems to still be working. And you would think it was still working, except now the mayor of Tokyo, whatever she is, the governor of Tokyo, says that they might have to do some lockdown measures, which of course makes sense, but then you wonder why they're having to do lockdown measures if we're only getting 68 people a day nationwide testing positive. Oh, and then you go, oh, wait, maybe that's because we're not testing. And this woman who's the governor, she has been totally absent from the news and never has said anything recently. In this whole outbreak has been very, very quiet. The fact is that they really wanted the Olympics. I don't blame them. They spend whatever, X billion dollars on it. And but now that the Olympics are off, next day she's out there saying, maybe they're going to have to do a lockdown if people don't stop doing what they're doing. Maybe I'll show some video if I can find it of, in Tokyo, people en masse out at the cherry blossom viewing. So, that is happening, and then maybe, in the next few days, we'll have some lockdown things happening. So, I don't understand why, because the numbers don't seem to indicate that we should do it, but there you go. They're going to probably do it anyway. And to get back to the testing, I mean, they've tested from day one 28,000 people. And 28,000 people is not a lot when in the UK Boris Johnson was talking about doing 5,000 people a day and moving that up to like 25,000 people a day or something like that. But so Japan has tested less than 30,000 people ever for this. And they did seem to have tested a couple thousand yesterday, but, who knows? Everything, but the numbers, are not up. I'm just trying to see who had a big uptick. Aomori, up there in the north, they seem to have a bit of an uptick. And, of course, Tokyo. So maybe people are talking on the trains after all, if you saw my video yesterday. And the thing that kind of really, this is never a good thing when this happens, but maybe this will wake some people up. There's this guy, a comedian here, he's very... I watch his shows because he does lots of stuff with animals, and he had a chimpanzee, and he does stuff with chimpanzees, and he's really interesting guy and funny and everything like that. Ken Shimura, he's 70 years old, and he's tested positive. So maybe that will scare some people into doing something, about staying in and being more vigilant. I don't know. He was hospitalized, it says, after developing a fever, and he's being diagnosed with pneumonia. So that's a bit depressing. And the only other thing, I'm not a newscaster, but so the things that just stick out to me as kind of odd and hinting at something that's not being said. That they're going to, so on one hand, they're saying, okay, maybe we're going to have to do some kind of lockdown in Tokyo, right? And then on the other, and then you see, okay, well, maybe we don't really have very many numbers, but for some reason we're going to do a lockdown anyway. And then you turn around and say, oh, we're going to release this guide because people are going to reopen the schools at the beginning of April. So, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me why you would reopen the schools, but I guess they're going to they are reopening some of the schools around here. Not so far. They've said they're going to reopen those. So that's what's going on in Japan. We're like in kind of some, as usual in Japan, some kind of alternate reality here where, nobody did anything. Like if you look at other countries where they did lots and lots of stuff, and they still are getting the virus. Maybe they didn't do enough, but they're still getting the virus, like tons of people. We didn't really do anything, don't really have the virus, and then just kind of like we turn around and go, oh, maybe we're supposed to be doing something about this. It looks like everybody else is doing something. Let's do something about it. I don't know if that's the mentality. It's a mystery to me. And finally, the weird thing is, we got this. There's this musician. He's a famous musician, this Yoshiki guy, and he's a drummer for X Japan. Recently, he performed with Kiss when they played in Tokyo, and they did the year-end TV show together, and it was called Yoshiki, who is a drummer and lives in Los Angeles, and his friend, who's some Nobel Prize winner in physics, had an hour-long thing on TV about where they talked about coronavirus and also about eating soba. So the two people who openly admitted, so I'm not going to say they're trying to pull any funny thing, they openly admitted they know nothing about this, medically speaking or professionally speaking, had an hour-long thing. So there you go. That's what is happening with the coronavirus in Japan. And today is March 25th, 2020. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Just a moment. I don't want to see the subtitle, whatever. Just can you tell them, Ryan? I don't want to see the subtitle. It's distracting. I'm so sorry. Subtitle. I want to see the title, the comment on this. They're coming this. If you can see it. Let me see. すいません。そうですね。だから僕もどっちかというとそのアンダーエスティメートしちゃいけない。最悪のことを考えた上で、ただ今はこれはまだ防げるものという努力すれば、防げないにしても、その感染の速度を遅らせることができる。遅らせることができる間にこれに対する、カウンターメジャーっていうんですか、要するに対策を練ることができるっていうふうに僕は解釈しているんですが、そういう解釈でよろしいんでしょうか。
僕も全く同意見です。これは十分に注意して用心するべきですけれども、私たち人類は100年前よりはるかに賢くなっていますから、正しく行動して、で大切なのはやっぱり世界が協力をして、こういう正しい行動をすれば、被害はもう比べ物にならないくらい抑え込むことができると。もうだからある意味本当私たちが試されている、ウイルスに試されている、そんな状況じゃないかなと思います。
これは
油断はダメだけれども、ちゃんと行動したら私たちウイルスに負けることはないと思います。
人類と世界の人類とそのウイルスの戦いってことですね、これは。
はい、おっしゃる通りだと思います。
後々この人類とそのウイルスが、この今のウイルスが長いタームでこれは共存していくということも含めたの上での戦いですかね。